of Madhya Pradesh during February 1961. The commission says, a Hindu unmarried girl, 18 to 20 years of age, resided with her parents in Jabalpur. On February 3, 1961, about 2:30 hours, she committed suicide. It is said that two Muslim young men committed rape on her when she was all alone in her house. Immediately after the rape, she poured kerosene oil over the body and set herself on fire. Her freaks attracted some neighbors who removed her to Victoria Hospital. The attending doctor asked her how she got the burn. She told him the case. Her dying declaration was recorded by doctor. This was how the communal rights begins. Then the commission also felt that political parties should change their attitude in approaching the people for gain, especially during election. They should not exploit communal or caste feeling for their purposes. No political or economic cultural issues should be discussed or agitated from a purely communal angle. This is the recommendation of that commission. The region of right said. Another commission, report of the Justice Raghuvar Dayal Commission of Inquiry, writes in Solapur in Maharashtra. The police in Solapur had controlled the number of torches that were to be carried by the Muslims during the Muharram procession on 2nd May 1966. This had infuriated the Muslims who refused to take out the procession instead of march to the collector's office next day. There were allegations and counter-allegations between the police and the Muslims who finally agreed to take out procession. Suspicions, however, lingered in the minds of Muslims who felt that the Hindus were instrumental in reducing the number of torches on which the police had taken action. Then on 31st May 1967, a Muslim girl playing with the steel rod with a green wire suffered fatal injury. It was found that she was playing with an electronic detonator, and the explosion was due to frictional heat. Subsequently, the shop of a well-known merchant was raided on 9/11/1967, and hidden stocks of unlicensed detonators were seized. This incident embittered the Muslims against the Hindus. A report of the Justice Raghuvar Dayal Commission of Inquiry writes in Ahmednagar in Maharashtra in 1967. The commission went into the events which took place on 18 September 1967 at Ahmednagar. They found that the events were certain eruptions resulting from disfigurement of the idols at the major temple. Apparently, the city of Ahmednagar had a number of mosques, piers and dargah on the main road which were blocking traffic. Efforts by the municipality and the citizens to remove them made the limited success. There were incidents where the temples and Hindus were failed at acts such as removal of the idols. So the region of rights, and same commission says, most of the riots took place due to the root of the procession of the idol immersion. So where is that Hindus are initiating riots? I am not calling Hindus and Muslims, but even if we are talking in terms of Hindus and Muslims, out of 29 riots they studied by the Home Ministry's committee, most of the riots were initiated by Muslims. It is unfortunate that I have to discourse in the terms of Hindu and Muslims. It is very unfortunate. So this is the communal violence bill. It is persuading every intellectual to discourse in terms of the Hindus and Muslims. The real purpose is to divide the intellectuals, divide the society. So coming back to communal violence bill, I will take a few more minutes. This bill suggests that if a policeman is going for an investigation and he is interrogating a criminal, now you have to know the religion of the criminal. If such a criminal says that I was mentally tortured during the interrogation, if he is a Hindu, nobody is going to care. If he belongs to group, if he belongs to minority community and he alleges that during the interrogation I was tortured, mentally tortured, psychologically tortured, the fate of the policeman would be it will be reversed. Policeman will become a criminal. The threat of suspension, threat of criminal case, threat of imprisonment is there in the bill. Other thing. In any area, if there is a communal tension, the bill says, categorically says, the policeman would be asked which Hindu or which majority organization belong to majority community doing activities there, consistently activities there. So it is assumed that the activities of the Hindu majority community is a reason for the communal tension in that area. So implication of the bill that no Hindu organization should work in any area. No Hindu organization should do mobilization in Hindu area. The policeman would be on watch because his own job is under threat. In 1932, Nazi had framed a law to purify the bureaucracy. Their assumption was the bureaucracy was pro-Jews, so they needed to purify the bureaucracy. They were not pro-Jews, they were neutral bureaucracy. They were honest, they were following the rule of law. Now, in categorical terms, the communal violence bill alleges entire police and bureaucracy for being prejudiced to the minority community, being biased against the minority community, acting as biased against the minority community. And I believe if we will not oppose this bill, tomorrow judiciary will be victim. Our honorable judge know. When the Sahbano case came to the Supreme Court, R.M. Muhammad Khan had to resign from the cabinet minister. He defended Sahbano. Supreme Court gave the verdict for uniform civil code in the country. One of the cabinet minister in the parliament says, this is the first time Indian judiciary was attacked in the parliament, none other than the member of the executive of Indian executive. He says, these are the little judges. They cannot evaluate our personal laws. The verdict was burnt. We tolerated. The entire nation bowed down before the fundamentalists. So now they came to the extent dividing the society into groups. If there is a cartoon is published, oral or any written propaganda against the minority community, any propaganda and misinformation that is by you, if you belong to majority community, if you have written something, in my book I have given 3 examples. Acharya Kripalani had 6 brothers. One of the brother was converted into Islam. Nothing wrong. Anybody can be converted. Gandhi's son was converted to Islam. When Gandhi's son Hiralal Gandhi was converted to Islam, Gandhi wrote in his Harjan. He is the first father who is writing against his son. He was editor, he was publisher, he was owner of the Harjan paper. He wrote, it was not the change of heart. Hiralal has 2 ill habits. One, visiting ill houses. You understand the ill houses means visiting the sex workers. A second, taking wine, drinking. Due to 2 ill habits, he was indebted by the Pathans. They are blackmailing him. So he was converted to Islam. So he made numerous Muslim friends to ask Hiralal Gandhi to come back to Hinduism. Gandhi wrote by his name in his own paper. It was a character assassination of his son, but this could have been taken as the propaganda against Islam. And Gandhi could no longer be, according to this bill, a secular person. So any written propaganda. So Muslim Hassan, a historian and the vice chancellor of, a few months back, vice chancellor of Jamia Millia wrote, the writings of Lal Balpal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, had alienated Muslims. They created hatredness among the Muslims. Muslims were hurt by their feelings. So writings of Lal Bal will be under this law. A communal writing they would have been to remove from the textbooks. If you are quoting Lal Bal, you will be victim, you will be criminal. You are spreading hatredness against the Muslims. Kriplani's brother was converted to Islam. His brother kidnapped his own brother, 13-year-old brother who was a student of class 3rd. He kidnapped him. He was firstly converted to Islam. He was sent to Afghan-Turk border where he died in the war. So it was declared Jannat, he got the Jannat. So Kriplani said in his oral history before his death, which is available in Nehru Memorial Museum Library in Delhi. I have just gone through that document. He says Islam creates a feeling of like opium. For them, beyond religion, there is no relationship in this world. They kill all kind of relations, all kind of maryada in the society. For that, Kriplani would be posthumously declared communal and his writings would be removed. I am quoting another B.T. Ranadive from Kerala. When for the first time Communist Party came into government in Kerala, they brought an education bill. And they had a very good provision, the common education for all Hindu, Muslim, Christian and all communities. This created mutual sympathy for all the communities. They sit together, they study together, they know each other, they develop friendship. Catholics support this. All the Catholic organizations wrote to the letters to all Catholics. Communist governments are destroying the Catholic culture, Catholic education. Don't send your children to the government school. Then B.T. Ranadive wrote, it is the foreign funded money which is destroying the Kerala through Catholic organization. They are the agents of the reaction. So Marxist leader B.T. Ranadive, he is not the part of Bharatiya Janata Party or RSS. He will be declared communal and posthumously he would also be a criminal. Third example I am giving of Jayaprakash Narayan. In 1946 there was a flood in Bihar and there was a relief camp. Muslim League alleged that Jayaprakash Narayan was provoking Hindus against the Muslims. Then Jawaharlal Nehru had to go to Patna, issue a press statement in favor of Jayaprakash Narayan. He cannot be a communal person, he is not doing so. But if this bill would have been law at that time, Jayaprakash Narayan would have been arrested for merely this allegation. So freedom of expression, freedom of speech, rule of law, this bill is making a death knell to all such glorious concepts which our democracy, which our secular democracy, which our constitution inherited from the freedom struggle. We are not opposing any law which is preventing communal rights. We are not opposing any law which is giving toughest punishment to the rioters who initiate communal rights. We are opposing only those laws, those proposed law which is dividing the society and creating a situation of civil war and ending the interdependence of the community. We all know that in this country, in market, who is the Muslim shopkeeper, who is the Hindu shopkeeper, we hardly know. But if in your neighbor there is a Muslim shopkeeper,